Hello everybody, Jim's Kitchen on tour.
Hiya.
I'm here in Blackburn with Mike Falcon, Mr. Entertainment. Mike, we've chatted before and that, and I love listening to your fantastic singing and that. And we've talked about Entertainment Passport. There's something I've noticed recently that I just wanted to ask you about. You've developed a friendship with a fella around here that's gained worldwide attention.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Yeah, about 4 years ago, a gentleman, an Asian gentleman called Mo, I call him Mo, he moved in just about 3 doors.
Oh, right, yeah.
And as we do in Lancashire, those older ones in Lancashire, I knocked on his door and made sure they had milk and this, that and the other, and it's become a custom with us when people move in.
Yeah, that's good.
And we struck up a friendship straight away, and for 3 years we've been friends with young Mo. When we talk about there's young Mo and old Mo. And old Mo is the same age as me, so I must be old Mike.
Yeah.
You know,
Which do you mind telling us how old that is?
Yeah. I'll be 81 in February, and old Mo is 81 now.
Just now. So you're nearly the same
yeah,
age.
we're same age.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that Mo doesn't speak English, and I don't speak Punjab. But he only moved here 18 months ago, and he moved in with young Mo,
Yes.
looking after him and Mum because they're getting on.
Yes.
And from the moment I met him, we struck up a friendship that is so unusual.
Yeah.
I tell you what we call it the language of the heart. That's
Right.
what we call
Yeah.
it, you know,
Yeah.
and that's why you can tell
Yeah.
when he's talking happy, or when you can tell when he has a problem,
Yeah.
and he can tell when I'm having a good day, because I know this with young Mo telling me, and
does young Mo sometimes translate?
Oh yeah. You know how we had a chat before.
Yes.
He does that with Dad
Right.
and me, you know. And what happened was he put it on TikTok so he could get to his relations in Pakistan, Germany, Spain, where his family are. He just put it on there to get to his family. And we got a million views for every one.
A million
views. We were getting 700,000 likes. And nobody gets it. If you work it out proportion-wise, you don't get that.
No, not at all.
You know, even the people who like you can't be bothered pressing the like
I would
button.
notice on say, Facebook or YouTube or whatever, if you get 10% likes, you're doing very well.
That's what I'm saying. And we were getting... And what it was, the Lancashire Evening Telegraph lad, who again lives just round the corner, he saw it on his TikTok and he went, "What? 1 million? That's impossible." You know. And he came round, did a story on us, got us in touch with BBC.
So that was in local paper, wasn't it?
Yes. That was in a local paper.
Yeah.
Just a local story, you know. Just a local feel-good story.
Yeah, good.
Because he's both him and the lad who came from BBC said, "Wow, what a fantastic story!" Against all this rubbish.
That's right. Yeah.
All this rubbish, you see.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and
it's nice. Yeah.
and the one from BBC, the blonde lad, I can never remember his name. It's on at 6:30. He said it's great today. He said yesterday. He said that we're running out late district looking for a black panther. And that was his story the day before. He said, and it turned out to be a cat.
Yeah.
You know,
I've heard that before. Yeah.
And it just took off from there. And
so you were on BBC Northwest.
No, yeah.
Yes, that's
BBC
fantastic.
And BBC Asia, I think they're doing Wednesday night here, Thursday night with us on Halloween. We make nothing out of it, you know.
It's amazing that it really is. I mean, 1 million is incredible. Do you as you said, you can't speak his language, he can't
No.
speak your language. So, but yet there's a connection
Yeah.
that doesn't need language.
That's right.
Yeah, which is amazing, really.
Um,
Do you think it's because you're same age, similar age?
Yeah, but I think it's because we were brought up in a time where a totally different time.
Yeah.
You know, where people, for your information and that, you'd go in a pub for a pint and you'd be chatting. I always said that to me it seems, you might call it conspiracy, but I think they want the pub shut.
Oh, I do. I agree.
They don't want me and you talking.
I agree.
And how it used to be, one set lads, some lads used to have a call on in pub for a pint after work,
Sure.
and one had said to them, "Have you seen what council are doing?
Yeah.
What? Is it written paper last night? Oh, I didn't get paper last night. They're having a so and so.
Yeah.
But I'm not. They
Yeah.
are. Now he'd go off home, but this lad, who
Yeah.
he'd told. Another lad, a few lads had come in, he said, "You won't believe what Harry's has told me."
Yeah.
And that's how the word, and you knew about your town. You didn't need the newspaper.
No. And you didn't need brainwashing media that you get today, where this is all you need to
Yeah.
know. We'll tell you what you need
and
to
they're
know.
convincing us.
Yeah.
They're convincing us we're going down the
How
twist.
good is that? Convincing us
Yeah.
it's conspiracy.
Do you
But
know,
Mo,
it's good fun.
How do you, with Mo,
Yeah.
the older one, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we're talking now,
Yeah.
and we know each other, and but sometimes language could be quite subtle, you
Yeah.
know. I mean, obviously I can tell if you're sad, I can tell if you're happy, I can tell if you're going to punch me or something,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But I can't tell the subtleties of language. I mean, how do you do that with somebody like Mo? Did they get young Mo to translate? Or
Yeah.
have you got a connection?
Yeah, we got a certain connection. Like we said, you can tell when somebody's angry. You can tell.
Yes.
And if I'll say to Mo, "What's he saying?"
Yeah.
You know, and they say, oh, because he's had some really bad news over. I think it was his nephew
Yeah.
died.
Oh, dear.
He's just become a great granddad again. You know, and so they need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when we talk about, we never talk about religion
No.
or politics.
No.
It doesn't come into our world.
Good.
It doesn't come
There's
into
enough.
our
There's
world.
enough talk and arguments about that.
Yeah.
It's rare to have a connection, and you know, especially with somebody from an alien, not alien, but you know, a different culture, a different, a different world. And I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. And a different, you know, I mean, we don't know what poverty is.
No,
We
Not
have
really.
no idea.
maybe our ancestors did,
yeah.
but we don't.
Oh, you know, when they talk about slave
Yeah.
giving money,
Yeah.
our parents and grandparents were slaves. If they didn't work, they didn't eat.
Exactly. And do you know the life expectancy of people who worked in them early cotton mills
Yeah.
and then down the pit was low. It was the same, if not lower than slaves. So
Yeah.
they might have been not slaves, but they were in reality slaves.
Yeah.
And you know, so it's we're, you know, they say, "Oh, you're very fortunate," and I know I am fortunate.
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate, you know, to have been born when I was born. I've not seen a war. I've always worked. You know, I've had to work for my money, but I've not been short, and so I'm very, very lucky in that respect. But it's not come. It's not come out of nothing. My mum and dad worked hard, and their mum and dad worked hard.
Well, my mum worked in a cotton mill. My dad worked jobs, and he'd change his job a lot. If there were no overtime in this factory, he'd go and work.
Yeah.
He wouldn't to get the overtime.
That's it,
And
yeah.
all it did, we're getting through to next Friday, payday, Thursday.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and before that, their mums and dads had it even, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
and they sent the children.
So it's like with Mo, it's like his values are old-fashioned values in
exactly
a way.
the same as my.
Because
as
we have
yours.
sort of moved on culturally. This country,
Yeah.
the West, has moved on a bit faster than the Asian
Yeah.
countries and African countries, for example. But it's refreshing and nice to talk to somebody from that old, because you still feel those values
That's
yourself.
right, yeah. And it's the same as when we are lucky in Blackburn, as I don't know any other town in terms about Blackburn. The communities in Blackburn have lived side by side, very
good.
Very good.
Yeah.
And we brought the Asian workers over to Blackburn to work our mills because of the they were skilled with cotton.
Right.
Right. And like with us, some of the families went into business, like some of our families went into business, and we never had a problem.
No.
You always got the young, the people who said, "Oh, they're taking our jobs."
Yeah, well, you always there'll always be bad people in every race and every so you always won't get that. But I think it's.
I think we're doing well.
I think, and do they when they speak, when people who have been born, well, I'm not saying. I mean, young Mo, I don't know where young Mo was born. Was he born in Europe?
Yeah, well, his last home was Denmark.
Oh, right. So
he's married to a Spanish lady.
But when they speak, when people who've got a foreign language speak English in Lancashire, they quite often do it with a bit of a Lancashire accent.
Scotland. In Scotland, they speak.
With a Scottish accent, which is great, isn't it? Yeah, I know. I've noticed that. Yeah.
Where you working this next one?
Well, we were in Burnley last week. We're in Preston tomorrow night. What day is it? Monday? No, Wednesday night. We're at the theatre in Preston.
Which one?
The what's it called?
Guildhall.
No, not the Bill Guildhall. No, it's the old theatre, the old theatre right in the middle of Preston.
Yeah.
We're on there on Wednesday night, and we've got a couple of other things coming up. I've got a few odds and ends with other people. I do work with other people as well, but it's Weaver's it's obviously the most famous. But going back to what we were talking about before, when you've been entertaining for a long time. What has been the sort of, you started off singing like rock and roll stuff and that in the 50s, and
as we said in what I think the first one we did.
Yeah.
Whereas the biggest thing when I went first to a holiday camp.
That's right. Yeah.
And that's where I learned over the years, where you learn everything. You can't.
So that's Pontins and Butlins as well.
I've started with Pontins.
Yes.
Then I went private.
Right.
I've worked Butlins on the circuit. I've worked Pontins on the circuit, where you do different one every night. You know. But it all started off with me at Pontins, and that's where I realised, because with the bands, what it were, you form a good band, you get a thing, you'd be offered a tour of Germany, but in the 60s that was the kind of thing. Oh, my mum won't let me go, my girlfriend won't let me go, you know, and so it was just, you couldn't get any further than youth club level, if you get what I mean. And that's where it all started.
See, people talk about hard work, and I know I've worked on building sites. I've worked on building sites for 13 years. I know what hard graft is, and there's hard graft. There can be very hard graft in an office as well, even though you're not physically doing anything. You can have the pressure of an office. What about the hard graft of entertainment? I know there's a lot of fun and pleasure, but what about the graft side of entertainment?
When you worked, right from the beginning, you worked on holiday camps. You started at the morning at 9 o'clock. You go in for breakfast, and from then on you were working. Yeah, you do all the announcements of what were going on during the day, and you get this lot shouting against this lot thing, and you don't forget your first event this morning. We've got Donkey Derby, thing, blah blah blah. Then you go and you'll be commentating on the Donkey Derby. Then you've been for lunch, and you do the announcements for the afternoon with the campers, you think, and the afternoon it's sports day, you know,
Right.
that, and you're working all afternoon, then you go home, wash, shower,
Yeah.
change, and at that day or 7 o'clock
You're
you're
on
selling
stage.
bingo
All
tickets.
right.
No,
You're
you're
on
selling
stage,
bingo
yeah.
tickets. and then at night you'd be doing you'd have your night that you did your so-called act cabaret
Yeah.
and then other nights you'd be playing. They'd say, "Oh, we're having sketches, and you're the comedy
Ah, right, yeah,
feed,
yeah, good.
all
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
And the songs used to have, you
Yeah.
know, where you're stood and all that.
I'd have loved that, mate.
Yeah.
If I never did. I'd have loved it.
Green Grove, the Rushy Roll, and all them songs, and you work like 20 hours a day.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not.
And me, I mean, most of your touring here
Yeah.
has been Lancashire,
Oh,
Yorkshire,
yeah.
hasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Me, I'll get a job, honestly, in
Oh, yeah.
Norwich. I'll drive down
Hell
to
of a
Norwich,
way,
which
hell
is
of a way.
5 hours.
Yeah.
We do the wherever I'm working, and I drive back to save money on digs.
Yeah.
Because if you were spending money to work,
Oh, that's
you
it,
weren't
yeah.
bringing the money home.
Yeah, that's got a good thing about
Yeah.
Home Weavers. Like I said, when they were on telly, it was BBC Northwest,
Yeah.
and
That's right.
so that's the general audience of the Home Weavers. We occasionally go to Scotland and we go to Alaman,
Alaman, yeah.
and a bit further south. You know, we're doing one in Wolverhampton in a couple of weeks. But usually it's Northwest, so it's easy, you know, relatively easy. Like
Yeah.
we'll come Blackburn and do a show, and I'm home like for 11
Yeah.
o'clock, which is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Now listen, we're going. We're going to wrap it up here because
I'm going to go and get all the more.
Yeah, what I want to do is I hope I'm looking forward to meeting more and more, and hopefully we may do a video of it in the future. But anyway, nice to see you,
Yeah.
Mike.
Hey, you lot, whatever you're doing, keep going.